maybe 400 or something.
Joe?
1,000.
I think it probably would have sold for about $850 because Vesti Davis once said, the more people I put in, the faster they sold. Welcome to the Art Museum. My name is Jackson Klain, and I'm here today to talk to you about Nathan's Coney Island in the Uncommon Folk Art exhibit of the Art Museum. Nathan's Coney Island was made in 1971 by Vesti Edward Davis. Vesti Davis was born in 1903 and lived until 1978 and died from cancer at age 75 in New York City. The only class that Vesti ever took that had to do something with art was a brief cartooning class. Vesti started painting New York street scenes in 1947. One of Vesti's favorite scenes to paint was Nathan's hot dog stand on Coney Island. These are some pictures of Coney Island, but not of Nathan's hot dog stand. Vesti had many jobs in New York, such as a circus barker, newsstand manager, undertaker, and church organist, completely unschooled in art. Vesti had unique style. Vesti's style was that he would take a picture of the scene and then he would paint it, because in 1971, the picture was not in color. Also, acrylic paint dried really fast, so Vesti had to paint quickly. But the picture was in black and white, so Vesti would either have to remember the colors or paint the colors that he wanted. This painting is only 18 by 24, which is 1 foot and 6 inches by 2 feet, which is pretty small for a piece that is so detailed like this one. This painting makes me feel relaxed because there are no particular warm or cool colors, so it doesn't give me a warm or a cool feel. What do you think? Ben?
It makes me feel kind of confused because everything is so busy.
Nathan?
Lost the folder because there's so much things going on.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm a little lost in all the commotion that's going on. This painting makes me feel relaxed because there are no particular warm or cool colors, and because the people don't really have any expression in their faces or anywhere, so it doesn't make you feel happy or sad or any emotions. When you look at where most of the people are in the painting, most of the people are in the stores or in the midground of the painting. There are only rectangles, squares, and some freeform shapes or organic shapes. As you can see in the signs, there are a lot of blues, reds, greens, and some blacks and browns. Vesti's work compares to many other pieces of his time with the use of color, but contrasts drastically to many modern artworks of his time. This is a piece by Andy Warhol that uses a lot more color than Vesti used. This piece uses a lot more of the similar colors that Vesti Davis used. There's a lot of positive space in this painting, which is the stores and places that are important in the painting. There isn't a lot of negative space, which is the air and non-important places in the painting that don't matter a lot. Vesti Davis was a primitive painter, which means that he never had any formal training in art. Vesti was regarded as a sufficiently important, naive artist to have been included in 20th century American folk art and 20th century American folk art artists. Folk art is a naive style, which means lack of experience. As you can see, it doesn't look like that from the painting because it looks like it's perfect. But if you did some research, you would have found out that he did, because he only took one class that had to do something with art, and it didn't even have to do with painting. It was a cartooning class. Folk art is made by common people, so all of us are folk artists, if you've ever painted or sculpted. Folk art can be found in all cultures of the world. Most folk art is unique to its culture or artist because every piece of folk art is unique in its own way. These pieces of folk art are unique and are nothing like Vesti Davis's pieces at all. About 100 years ago, people started to argue about what to name folk art and start to appreciate folk art. One day, Vesti had just came home from work, and his wife suggested that he paint more people than he normally did. Why do you think that? Ben?
At the beginning, he said said the more people he drew, the more money he got. So maybe because they want more money, he should draw more people.
That's exactly right, Ben. He said, the more people I put in, the faster they sold. I kind of thought because maybe his wife just wanted to see him change something up. But then I found out that quote. For my interpretive piece, I decided to create a sculpture, and I decided to change up the colors, and I decided to put smiles on their faces. Some of the materials that I used for my interpretive piece were foam board, an old shoebox, acrylic paint, and cardstock. What are some of your favorite places to hang out? Nathan?
A pool.
Coffee shop.
Yes?
Warm beach.
Well, maybe you could paint those places and end up like Bestie Davis. Any questions? Remember, we all have the capability to become great artists like Pablo Picasso, but for now we are all folk artists.